Ever wondered why your internet connection goes off just when you're about to win the game? Well, blame it on the trolls, just kidding. But seriously, trolls in Norse mythology were known for their mischief. Now let's dive right into the origins of these mythical creatures. Trolls, as you might guess, hail from the icy lands of the north, specifically Norse mythology. According to legends, they were born from the very earth itself, rising from the rocks and mountains, embodying the harshness and resilience of the Nordic landscapes. Their physical characteristics were as impressive as their origins. Picture this: colossal giants, towering over treetops, their bodies as sturdy as the rocks they emerged from. Strength, oh, they had plenty of it. A single troll could outmatch a dozen men, if not more. But don't let their size intimidate you. Trolls were known more for their love of chaos and mischief than actual violence. One such story that stands out is the tale of the Troll of Galdhøpiggen. The troll, notorious for its size and strength, was known to cause landslides simply by stomping its feet. It would then chuckle at the chaos and confusion it caused among the nearby villagers. Despite their attempts to appease the troll with offerings, it seemed that the troll simply enjoyed the mischief too much. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were also stories of trolls with a sense of humor and a love for riddles. They would challenge travelers to a game of wit, and if the traveler won, the trolls would grant them safe passage, sometimes even rewarding them with gold or magical items. So you see, trolls were not just about chaos and destruction. They were complex characters, embodying the wild and unpredictable nature of the world, reminding us that not everything is within our control. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the fascinating world of trolls in Norse mythology. There are countless more stories and legends waiting to be explored. So, next time you're in a pickle, you know whom to blame. The trolls. Ever lost your keys and found them in the most unlikely place? Well, you might have a dwarf to thank for that. In the vibrant tapestry of Norse mythology, dwarves hold a unique place as master craftsmen and cheeky tricksters. These pint-sized beings are as famous for their whimsical pranks as they are for their legendary craftsmanship. So, if you've ever found your spectacles on top of the fridge or your car keys in the freezer, you might want to chuckle at the thought of a dwarf having a laugh at your expense. Dwarves, or dvergar as they were known in Old Norse, were believed to be born from the flesh of the primordial giant Ymir. Despite their humble origins, they rose to prominence with their extraordinary skills. They could fashion anything from the mightiest weapons to the most delicate jewelry, often imbued with magical properties. The most famous of their creations: Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and Odin's ring, Draupnir. But don't let their industrious nature fool you. Dwarves were also notorious for their mischief. They loved a good prank and often used their magic to bemuse and bewilder humans and gods alike. One popular anecdote narrates how a dwarf turned himself into a dragon just to guard his hoard of treasure. Their magical abilities extended far beyond practical jokes, though. Dwarves were known to shapeshift, become invisible, and even control elements like fire and metal. It's said that their magic was so potent that even the gods were wary of crossing paths with a disgruntled dwarf. Despite their tricks and mischief, dwarves were respected and revered. After all, they were the ones who armed the gods, and their magical creations often tipped the scales in favor of the Aesir during their battles against the giants. So the next time you're searching for your misplaced phone or a missing sock, remember it could be a dwarf's doing. Maybe they're just having a bit of fun, or perhaps they're crafting a magical artifact for you. Who knows? Remember, if you ever find your belongings in odd places, it might just be a dwarf having a bit of fun. Feeling unusually lucky today? You might have been touched by an elf. Elves are an enchanting feature of Norse mythology, revered for their beauty and wisdom. These ethereal beings have an air of mystery, woven into the fabric of countless tales and folklore. Elves, or Alfar as they were known to the ancient Norse, are often depicted as luminous beings, superior to humans in both knowledge and power. Elves are known for their mystical abilities, possessing magical skills that were both feared and respected. They had the power to bless or curse humans, and their influence was often sought in matters of health, fertility, and prosperity. Many Norse sagas recount tales of humans seeking the aid of elves to heal illnesses or bless their crops. One of the most intriguing aspects of these mystical beings is their dual nature. While the light elves, or Ljósálfar, were seen as benevolent entities, the dark elves, or Dökkálfar, were more sinister. The light elves resided in Alfheim, a realm of radiant beauty, while the dark elves dwelled in the underground world of Svartalfheim. Elves have been depicted in a myriad of ways throughout the ages. In early Norse literature, they were seen as divine beings, associated with fertility and prosperity. Later, in medieval literature, they were often portrayed as mischievous or malicious. Today, we often see them depicted as kind and wise beings, thanks in part to modern fantasy literature and cinema. Despite these varying depictions, the core characteristics of elves remain consistent. They are beings of extraordinary beauty, wisdom, and magical prowess. Their influence can be seen in everything from the luck of a good harvest to the healing of the sick. So whether you're feeling particularly blessed or you're just enjoying a lucky streak, remember the elves. They might be behind your good fortune, working their magic from the shadows. So, if you're having a lucky streak, don't forget to thank the elves. Ever had a nightmare so terrifying it felt real? You might have had a visit from a Jotun. Let's dive into the chilling depths of Norse mythology, where we find the Jotun, or the giants. These colossal creatures aren't your average fairy tale giants. No, these are beings of raw power, primal nature, and terrifying strength. The Jotun hail from Jotunheim, one of the 9 realms in Norse cosmology, a place where the earth shakes under their mighty feet. They are the embodiment of nature's destructive forces. Earthquakes, avalanches, storms, you name it. When a Jotun's temper flares, you can bet it's not a pretty sight. And yet, despite their terrifying nature, they aren't just mindless brutes. Many Jotun are known for their cunning and intelligence, often engaging the gods in battles of wits rather than brute force. They are master manipulators, using their powers to deceive, enchant, and ensnare. The Jotun are typically seen as the antagonists in Norse mythology, often clashing with the gods. It's a classic tale of chaos versus order, with the Jotun representing the wild, untamed forces of the universe, and the gods standing for order and civilization. However, it's not all black and white. While they are often in conflict with the gods, there are instances where they intermingle. Some gods, like Loki, are of Jotun origin, and others, like the mighty Thor, have Jotun blood running through their veins. Despite their terrifying reputation, the Jotun are not inherently evil. They are more like forces of nature, chaotic and unpredictable, but also necessary to maintain balance. They represent the harsh realities of life, reminding us that not everything can be tamed or controlled. So, the next time you have a nightmare that leaves you in a cold sweat, think of the Jotun. They might just be trying to remind you of the wild, untamed forces that exist in the world. And who knows, perhaps they're trying to teach you a lesson, to respect the power and unpredictability of nature. So, if you've had a terrifying dream, it might just be a Jotun trying to scare you. From mischievous trolls to terrifying Jotun, Norse mythology is full of fascinating creatures. We've taken a thrilling journey through the captivating world of Norse mythology, unearthing the tales and traits of its most prominent creatures. Let's take a step back and revisit the highlights of this mythical adventure. So the next time something odd happens, think about which Norse creature might be behind it. Thanks for joining us on this mythical journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.